What's better today? I'm John Michael, and this is a field guide from the Apprentices, mostly reliable guide. Insiders get these linked directly from their journal right when they need them. You found it the long way round. That counts too. Read it. There is something in here for you. The rest is behind a door that is easier to open than you think. Now I'll hand over to Sherman Garfinkel.
Field Guide 006, Romans 12 verse 2, and Neurological Conformity. Charlie found on the train home. Not the train she usually took. She had missed that one by 4 minutes, standing on the platform, still thinking about the notebook sketch, the 4 Fs, the word formation with arrows running in both directions. She had stood there longer than she meant to, and then taken a slower service without particularly deciding to. She had a seat. That almost never happened. The carriage was the usual composition. People performing the city's preferred version of invisibility, eyes down, earphones in, the specific blank expression that meant "do not speak to me, I'm already somewhere else." Charlie knew the expression. She wore most mornings. She did not put her earphones in. Instead, she opened her journal app and sat with the question that had been forming since she left Curtervale. Formation. The brain being shaped by habit and environment and story. Neuroplasticity. She had the word clearly enough. The brain's capacity to rewire itself through repeated experience, deliberate attention, change behavior. Neural pathways that fire together, wire together. Old patterns deepen with use. New patterns form when the brain is directed consistently, somewhere different. It was not mystical. It was structural biology. Sherman had drawn it in a notebook and called it formation. The mechanism was identical. She turned the phone over in her hand. If the science was this clean, and she already knew the science was this clean, there had to be something in the text that matched it. Not as metaphor, as description. She had worked with enough ancient source material to know that precision of observation was not a modern invention. She tapped the search icon. Typed, brain rewiring itself. Is there something in the Bible about this? Romans 12 verse 2 came back. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. She read it twice, then a third time, slowly, the way you read something when you suspect it is doing more work than it appears to be doing. The word conform. She had always read it as a moral instruction. Do not be like them. Do not do what they do. Maintain a certain distance from the world values. A boundary marker, a fence, but sitting in the slow train with the city sliding past the window, the word landed differently. Conform, from the Latin, to form together with, to be shaped by the same mold, to take on the pattern of whatever you are pressed against long enough and hard enough. It was not a moral warning. It was a description of a mechanism. You'll be formed. The question is what you're pressing yourself against. The pattern of this world, the inbox that never empties, the metric that defines your value, the colleague who measures you by your last output, the algorithm that has learned what keeps you scrolling. These are not neutral. They are a formation system. They are pressing. They are shaping. And if you're not doing something deliberate in the other direction, the conforming is already happening. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. The Greek word for transformed is metamorpho, the same root as metamorphosis. Not an adjustment, not an upgrade, a complete change of form from the inside out. And the Greek word for renewing, anakinosis, carried the sense not of restoration, but of something entirely fresh. A new quality, a different nature. Paul was not describing a self-improvement program. He was describing neuroplasticity before the word existed. The brain rewires itself, not randomly, in the direction of what it practices, what it attends to, what it repeats. The neural pathways that fire together wire together. Old patterns deepen with use. New patterns form with deliberate, repeated attention. The renewing of the mind is not a metaphor for feeling differently about things. It is a description of structural change in the organ that produces thought. Charlie looked at the city through the window, the lights coming on as the evening settled. All of it optimized, all of it pressing. She thought about her morning routine. The 12 minutes she had finally protected this week. The specific effort it had taken not to reach for the phone during them. The resistance, which she now understood was not weakness, but simply the old pathway running on its default. The new pathway did not yet exist. She was building it, one 12-minute session at a time, the cells that fired together beginning slowly to wire together. Formation, Sherman had said, was not what happened to you. It was what you were being shaped by. Paul had said it first, 2,000 years before the neuroscience caught up. The train stopped at a station she did not need. She did not get off. She read the verse a fourth time and then sat quietly with the particular feeling of having found the thing she was looking for before she had finished forming the question. Outside, the city pressed on. She let it press. She was pressing back now, deliberately, one day at a time. That, she was beginning to understand, was the whole point. If you only remember one thing from this, you're being formed right now by what you attend to, what you repeat, what you press yourself against. The pattern of this world is a formation system, and it is running whether you engage with it deliberately or not. Romans 12 verse 2 is not a moral instruction to be better. It is a description of a mechanism and an invitation to choose which mechanism you will submit to.
The story ends here. Sherman has more to say. Charlie has further to go. The steps that follow this story are only available inside the Insider's Challenge. That is where the formation payload lives. The one habit, the trigger, the practice small enough to start today and significant enough to matter in 6 years. You have just read the diagnosis. The prescription is inside. Are you ready? 6 months? 4 rounds? One question asked every day. Join the Insider's Challenge at What's Better Today Challenge. Or if you are not ready yet, that is fine too. Sherman is not going anywhere. Neither is the workshop. Neither is the gap in the fence. Come back when you are ready.